Yo, what up with it? What up with it? As y'all can already see on the screen, y'all already seen it on the screen already. You know what I mean? It's already pulled up there, as you can see and whatnot. What's up, y'all? What's going on? Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel, man. We about to jump right into it. I know y'all seen it on the screen. So I like to start off with the whole Twitter thing, how the conversation gets started. So let's see how this conversation gets started here. All right, let's get that pulled up and then we'll jump up and everything else. All right. So if y'all could see that with me, I can make that bigger actually. I think I can. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger for y'all. I don't know if y'all can still hear me. I hope y'all can. It don't seem like my mic is muted, although you cannot see me. It's just some Twitter things, man. That's all. It's just some Twitter stuff up there and the conversation gets started. So Plies tweets out saying the WNBA hasn't been talked about like this until Caitlin Clark shut up tells you all you need to know about the people who has been covering the sport. If you feel the WNBA is only worthy of recognition now because of one player is a true slap in the face to all the women before her, I must say that's a bomb dropper. But I also must say that a lot of people got this one totally wrong, bro. Like, I mean, honestly, I honestly feel like a lot of people missed out on this, like, hugely because, like, the whole thing. All right, hold on. I'll talk about things once I start reading. Shannon Sharp tweeted out, and this is what I was going to argue before I even saw this tweet. I just looked at him. He said they won 7 straight gold medals in women's basketball. Still hasn't been talked about like this until Caitlin Clark showed up. That's who Cece is for y'all who don't know. That is a fact. And I don't want nobody jumping on my channel. Don't become jumping on my channel because everything I'm about to read and start spamming me in the comments about this or about that and how Trek and Chubby ain't right about this or right about that. Because look, I'm straight up and this is how I wanted to bring it to y'all was to read what was going on. I did not want to come in here and just drop my opinion without bringing and presenting facts of several different outlets, the WNBAs themselves. So first, we're going to go take a look at the viewership, and this is Statista.com, and as you can see on your screen here, this is the ratings from 2016 to 2023 in the WNBA. I'm going to read it here. It says it right here. The WNBA regular season TV viewers of 2023. Okay, this should have been updated this last year. Now, this is just last year. This is not even including the 2024 season. Okay, this is now it isn't, but it has been an increase. It has been an increase in viewership. I must give them a round of applause and I must go ahead and say that. It has been since 2016, as you can see. You know, this is viewers by the thousands, so 100,000, so thousands. Okay, so 224,000 was where they peaked at 2016, 2017, 171,000, 2018, 231,000, 219, 246,000, 220 took a big plummet. Of course, COVID year, everything else stuff like that was going on. So 205,000. 2021 went back up 306,000. 2022 379,000. 2023 505,000. Now listen to me. Now I know a lot of people saying out there probably think I want it right now. Like really? Now this was released back in September of 2023 off Statista.com. Okay, they have not updated the stats just yet. I haven't seen them. When I googled it, it was up there. It wasn't up there just yet. All right, so they'll probably update that. But that's the latest list. But now I want to take y'all over to the WNBA site and what they have said about what's going on with the viewerships now for this year. So this is also okay. So this is back in 2000. They haven't even updated this neither. So it had its highest attendance total in 13 years. 13 years. That was the first time. Now, you wondering and you're saying to yourself, like, okay, so what does this mean? So this is another old one. So I really don't want to present this. Um, but I'm going to present it anyway, and I'm gonna just try to read some of these key points. I don't know if y'all want me to read the top or not. But I will read because this is the back in 2000. I'll just read the whole thing. All right. The WNBA this year had its most watched regular season on it. Mind you, this is September 13th of 2023. Its most watched regular season in 21 years. Viewership across the nation, television partners, ABC, CBS, ESPN, and ESPN2 was up 21% over the 2022 season. The league also set new highs across WNBA digital platforms, social media engagement, and sports betting. The 2023 WNBA playoffs presented by Google tip off tonight as three-time WNBA All-Star Napheesa Collier. Did I say her name right? And the sixth-seeded Minnesota Lynx visit 2023 league assist leader Alyssa Thomas. And the third-seeded Connecticut Sun, 8 p.m. Eastern, ESPN2, followed by the two-time WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson. Now, she's been in the spotlight. She's been winning 3 years in a row. How many people knew that? Be honest with yourself. Now, I want to give a shout out to a content creator, Quita Love Sports. Quita Love Sports has been on this for the past year before then, though. But the past year, very strongly. She has a huge WNBA channel. If you want to know anything WNBA, I would recommend Quita Loves Sports. She is awesome, a Chicago native, and she's not a homer. She gives it to you raw. All the information you need to know. She's taught me so much about the game just watching her and listening to her. So I advise anybody that want to know more about the game to watch Quita Love Sports. There's enough to go around for all of us to get views. I am not stingy with that. Quita Love Sports does an awesome job. Shout out to Quita. All right. Now, and the top seeded Las Vegas Ace hosting the 2021 WNBA Finals MVP, Kalia Cooper, and the 8th seeded Chicago side 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, ESPN. First round continues with the ESPN2 doubleheader on Friday, September 15th, with the two-time WNBA MVP, Elena Delle Donne. All right, we know who that is. We know who that is, right? We know who that is. And the 7th-seeded Washington Mystics visit two-time WNBA Finals MVP Brianna Stewart and the 2nd-seeded New York Liberty, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the 3-time WNBA All-Star Henrique. I cannot pronounce her last name, but she plays for the Dallas Wings, and she is fire. She didn't make Team USA, and I thought that was a blasphemy. She should have been on Team USA. She's been shooting the lights out, one of the best three-point shooters in the WNBA, to be honest. Now, we're going to get into some conversations here, but I'm going to finish reading off these stats and these statistics. And the reason why I'm reading off these statistics right now is because to support the argument that Caitlin Clark should have been on the WNBA, the Team USA roster for nothing else than just the marketing of the WNBA. And people are going to say, well, no, it does work like that. And the reason why I believe this is in my opinion, but I'm going to read some stats off, right? I'm going to read stats and everything else that's going to support that, because the game has been sold out. Games have been sold out. Never really happened before. Let's call it what it is. I've been following the sports. I'm going to say it like this. I've been following the person that does the WNBA unlike anybody else on the internet. This is how highly I really recommend Quita. She does an excellent job on the WNBA. This is her main focus. She does an unbelievable job in giving you a full detailed report on almost every game, every player, whatever it is you may want to know. She got it there. And I will say that just by watching her, I probably knew more about it than anybody else. And the thing is, she blew up so quick because nobody else wants to really cover it. Nobody has that passion she has to cover the sport. Nobody. Not ESPN, not ABC, nobody. She has been covering it. People are looking in the wrong places to get the coverage. That's the problem. It's not that people's not covering the WNBA. There's lots of people out there covering the WNBA, but people want to go to ESPN2, AB. They're not going to do it unless it's popular. and that's it's popping. So and I must say, and this is the truth. This is the truth. This is what I say reverse clout chasing. Okay, I'm gonna break that down for you. I know this is a new term and a new definition. People can say you're clout chasing if you say something about a major star that has a big following and you don't have the same amount of following. So that would be clout chasing on your part. So what are you doing when you're wanting to watch a ESPN, a ABC, NBC sports type of show and get information on something that you thought should have been talked about, but it really wasn't, because they're only going to talk about the things that are trending, things that is going to keep up their ratings. This is entertainment at the end of the day. They have to get high ratings. They can't go a day with saying, okay, all right, I got 4,000 subscribers, but only 1,000 of my subscribers watch this video. And oh, now when I talk about this subject, 7,000 people. Sometimes a lot of us don't get caught up in that, and we still put out the information in the videos for y'all, not no matter what the clicks are and the subject matter is. Some of us out here or still do that, but then there is a lot of content creators who still do go off the trending things also, and that's the smart way of doing it. That's called marketing, right? And that's how you're supposed to do that. But sometimes you just don't care. If you really truly love it, I think sometimes putting other things out is also a good thing too, because sometimes people you giving all kinds of information, not just upon clicks and whatever else is out there. But not to say that it's not the wrong thing, because it is the right thing to do. But that's in my eyes, that's cloud chasing when you want to go watch somebody who's popular in that and they're not talking about that, because you're going in the wrong place to look for it. There's plenty of people on YouTube and Twitch or whatever the platform they use that talk about the WNBA and do a fantastic job. I only know of one, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty loyal with who I watch, and I don't know, maybe she'll recommend somebody else. I'll go check them out, but as of right now, Quita is my go-to person when I want to know something about the WNBA. That's who I watch. All right, but it's out here. The cultures that I believe that culture is out here, and I just wanted to speak on that real quick before I got up into this. So viewership combined. So some of the key points here in this, the highlights from the season include viewership. Combined viewership for the WNBA across ESPN networks, ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, and the CBS television network was up 21% over the 2022 regular season. Viewership across ABC, ESPN, and the CBS was up 8% over the last season and averaged 505,000 viewers. Now, we read that already. So this is just what they're talking about and everything else and all that. Now, there's a key point in here, right? There's a lot of them, but there's one that I particularly want to point out and talk about real quick. So the WNBA Draft 2023 presented by State Farm averaged 572,000 viewers on ESPN, up 42% over the last year, and the most watched WNBA draft since 2004. All right. That's a fact. Now, and they don't really have anything on here talking about the 2024, because 2024 just blew out. That we know it blew everything out, and that's a shame that the WNBA don't have their website updated and are talking about 2023 records. But Quita has covered all of this, and she's know that it's honestly, they get to talking about the community impact it's had on the sports betting, digital platforms, media engagement. It's up all across. However, the door has been actually kicked down, and more people are watching because of Caitlin Clark. This is a fact, y'all. We know this. Um, and anybody, you could definitely see it, right? So now I want to go to the 20. I don't want to look at the Wikipedia really. I wanted to see where the ratings were for Caitlin Clark, where she's here, and this is supporting the argument. Then I'll talk more about that. All right. So if you listen, so May 2020, May 14th, the Indiana Fever played the Connecticut Sun on ESPN2. 2024. Average viewers 2.12 million viewers. The most watched game. This is the most watched game, period. in WNBA history. Period. Point blank. And period. Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever, not even that good, to be honest. Not anymore. May 16th, Indiana Fever plays the New York Liberty. 1.71 million viewers. Talk about it. All right. May 18th, Connecticut Sun at the Indiana Fever. 1.56 million viewers. So June 1st, this just happened. Chicago Sky versus the Indiana Fever was on. That game was super live. Watched it in the barbershop. Getting my haircut. Bunch of men in there. We enjoyed the game. 1.5 million viewers. May 18th, Los Angeles Sparks at the Las Vegas Aces on ABC. 4 million viewers. Now the ratings since May 24th and May 24th, the Indiana Fever at the Los Angeles Sparks was on Ion Television. I don't know what that is. 724,000 viewers. So these major networks are not picking it up. So when you look at the table of contents, you can say the most watched WNBA games in 2024 the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever draws a huge audience. WNBA TV ratings continue to climb. They're up through the roof. Kaylin, and the reason why I wanted to really speak on this and say this is because she's been left out the All-Star game. And some people are saying, and look, I get it, because some people are coming off and they're saying, well, if Caitlin Clark made the team, people will still be in an uproar over her not getting as much playing time because she didn't do what she did on the court in the WNBA. I get that, but we're not even in postseason yet, and the team's already been picked, and still there's still games to play. But she has been one of the most iconic sports figures in the last year and a half, correct? You know what I'm saying? Not only by popularity, but she's busted all kinds of college records and so forth and so on. And I hear about a whole bunch of people talking about Christian Laettner making a men's team, and Shaq didn't make the team. And to support what Laettner was doing in college and everything is why he made the men's USA basketball team. Well, based off what she did in college, breaking Pistol Pete's record, men's records, women's records, she could have been easily on the team. But and from a marketing standpoint, she should have been on the team. Not to say that there's other women that's not marketable on the team. Now, this right here, what I'm about to say is about to definitely ruffle some feathers. I don't want people to take this the wrong way. I've went and I've asked some young men in my family, not only my family, but other young men also have asked them this question. I've got the same result every time. And I wish that I could put it up there, but getting their parents' consent to put them on there and ask them this, and maybe I'll just do it randomly and just ask random adults this question. Now we know that some adult men don't want to watch the game because of sexuality. That's a fact. Some men are stuck in their ways. It's just a fact, y'all. There's nothing we can do about that, right? Me personally, it don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter to me if it's a good game. It's a good game, no matter who you are, whatever you like, right? So I've asked these young men, does it matter? Would you want to watch a basketball game if they could? No, it don't matter. If it's a good game and they hooping and it's a good game, I'm gonna watch it. I don't care what they is. Okay. So then when I get asked a marketing question, so when it came time of getting a jersey, a poster of a woman on your wall, what woman do you want on there? You heard, to be honest, Angel Reese, you know what I mean? Haley Van Lith, talking women that's looks like they're straight. Let's just call it what it is. So when it comes to marketing, that's the marketing you want, right? Would get the most results. Not unless you're going to give more support where it's needed. Because let's be honest, the LGBTQ community is huge when they want to support other things that they really care about. If they put that support into back in the WNBA, or their players in the WNBA who are very open to sexuality, I think that can help. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just winging it here. So don't go jumping on me. You know what I'm saying? Educate me if anything. All right. Let's be with that. But now with the question I asked these young men, it was a fact. That's who they wanted to put posters up of, and they wanted to buy memorabilia of. From a marketing standpoint, it's wiser to promote straight. Now let's just it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just sorry to say that, and I have to be honest about that. I will not get on here, and I'm just trying to be upfront and be honest with everybody. Now, I should have, could have, would have, but I didn't record me asking these questions because of them being, 15, 16-year-old young men, whatever, teenage boys, and girls also. The question, and that was just it. Now, maybe they're afraid. Maybe they don't want to put that up there because I don't know. I don't know the reasoning behind that. Not to say that other players aren't marketable. I'm just saying that when you have an Angel Reese, a Caitlin Clark on the team, the marketability behind it. And I know this really, see, I'm talking about things and saying something that other people would dare to talk about. They wouldn't dare bring this up. See, other content creators wouldn't dare bring up this question. They wouldn't, because people are afraid to be canceled. People are afraid of that. Me, on the other, I'm not. I just want to have the conversation. If I lack the education on something, I would assume somebody out there would say, "Okay, let's have this conversation. Let me put you down with this. Let me tell you this." But in all reality, just me asking regular people that if I've seen and if I cross paths with, this was the results I got. I'm telling you that. So yes, from a marketing standpoint, she should have been on the Team USA roster. And people saying, well, and then for the people that are saying, well, just because popularity, it hasn't helped. The women's Team USA has won, like Shannon Sharpe. I showed Shannon Sharpe's tweet earlier. They have won 7 gold medals the last 7 games, 7 straight gold medals. Women's basketball has been increasing. It has been, but the support for the WNBA still has not been there, and it's not climbing. The eyes are getting on. It's climbing. I'm sorry. Excuse my lingo. It's climbing. The ratings we've seen has been going up, but the support for the WNBA has not reached. When we're talking posters, merchandise, jerseys, those things have not been hitting except for when Caitlin Clark is there. If we can get these women to stop whatever the animosity is or whatever, and to get Caitlin Clark advertising an A'ja Wilson, Caitlin Clark advertising a Diana Taurasi. Even though Diana Taurasi's 41 years old and you know what I mean, whatever else, if we can get her and them promoting, it's going to help. It's going to do nothing but help the sport. The thing is, me personally, in my opinion, what I don't get about the whole WNBA thing and everything that's going on with this whole situation is, why won't the women who want this game to grow get behind their cash cow, ride the wave while it's here? It does, like, we appreciate, like, look, we appreciate the legends in WNBA. Like, we heard about Lisa Leslie, Diana Taurasi. We knew those names. We didn't know where to go to watch you. We didn't know what time y'all came on. Let's just be honest. We didn't know that. We knew about you, great women, but we didn't know where to watch our games, what time y'all games came on, if y'all games were even on TV, what stadiums y'all played at. You know what I mean? Like, I literally just was at the Mohegan Sun Casino, where the Connecticut Sun play basketball games at. We're walking through there for we spent a whole weekend out there, a whole weekend, and they have an arena. And there's a casino. It's like a shop. It's the best casino I've ever been. Shout out to the Connecticut Sun for their home turf. I like it. You definitely don't want to go watch the Connecticut Sun without some money in your pocket because you're definitely gonna spend some bread up in there. And if you want to, you could. Yeah, I advise you to go out there the night before. You can go to the casino, play some dollar slots, 50 cent slots, and then you can go out and get a good meal in the morning. Go out that night. They got a nightclub in there, a couple different type of nightclubs. Hey man, it's just an awesome place, man. You know what I'm saying, to be at. So the Connecticut Sun, they got they're very nice setup. But the thing is I'm walking through there now. I'm a sports content creator, and and I noticed that the Connecticut Sun players are posted on the walls all through the joint on the arena side, and we're just walking through there. I'm walking through there was the Connecticut Barber Expo, the biggest barber expo there was. I was out there with my local barber shop. I've driven these guys out there. You know, I was their chauffeur, if you will. All right, and CDL holder, you know, whatever, being responsible, don't drink. And you know, they're having a good time. But they were walking through there, and I'm like, y'all, do y'all know the Connecticut Sun WNBA team play here? They're like, who? I'm like, y'all don't see the WNBA Connecticut Sun team. This is their home court. They're like, no, I'm like, yo, look at the big poster. And I asked this, dad's like, yeah, the arena's. Didn't even know. Didn't even know. And that just made it that much more interesting to them. After the fact, they learned that, but nobody knew about that. And that's my point. The point I'm trying to make is that nobody knew. Nobody knows until she showed up. We was never WNBA games wasn't in barbershops until she showed up. It's not a bad thing though. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? You have take the win whenever you can get it. Take Caitlin Clark. She's the model, and let's get behind her. Let's make this sport what it needs to be, so we don't have to depend on the NBA and their stars in order to wonder if we're going to have a team next year. And let's try to get more investors to buy more teams and grow the league bigger, because that's the next step for the WNBA. And the sport is definitely growing. It's not going nowhere, but I would advise if I had the money, I'd definitely be trying to buy me a WNBA team right now, for sure. For sure. But when you look at it, like I said, that just supports the argument that it's not there. Nobody knew. But now people know. And when when you're looking for coverage on the WNBA, you're looking in the wrong places. The place that where you're going to get that from is from another hardworking content creator, such as myself, or somebody working even harder on that, talking about it, dedicating their channel to that. You're not going to find it on a ESPN, Fox Sports, unless it's something popular to talk about. You're not going to put a game on television that only has that it fits 100,000, but only 10,000 is in there. That's the equivalent of them going to put a JUCO, and I hate to say this like that way, but it's the facts. Putting a JUCO football game on ESPN, they're not going to do that. You know, and that's the harsh reality of it, that stars like Diana Taurasi, Lisa Leslie, so much more that I'm not naming, Sabonis, they could not elevate the sport in such a marketable way. They cannot get it there, even with all the stars that's there. They cannot elevate it in such a way that this rookie class that just came in has done. And it's largely because of their social media experience, them being a younger social media crowd. You know, when you look at a Cameron Brink uh you get to looking at Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and Rickea Jackson and all those young ladies, they know how to use the social media tool. They grew up on that. So, they were allowed cell phones in their classrooms. They knew how to. That's all they did. They dated people on their phones, sitting next to them, and they, instead of talking to each other, they're texting each other. Like, that's the generation they're from. So they know how to use social media in the way where Diana Taurasi and Lisa Lexley, it was just not there. It was just coming out and being introduced. So they didn't use it as much. We didn't know that social media was going to be used as a marketing tool the way that it is now. You know what I mean? So they know how to do that. They knew how to turn themselves into brands. And before they got there, now they translated, and it translated well. And most people didn't even think that it was going to translate that well, but it has. But now it's time for those veterans to get behind these young ones and say, let's do this. It's bigger than just her not making the team. It's about elevating the sport for all women. And if it's about all women and it's about elevating y'all sport, that what you love, then they should be getting behind her more. And there should be less of this distraction that everybody's talking about, trying to make this a black or white thing, trying to make this a veteran versus new thing, a rookie thing. It should be none of that. Y'all control the narrative, and as long as the narrative, and as long as that distance between the rookies and the vets is going on, there's all people in the media are always going to have something to throw in there about that. And honestly, is the WNBA really ready for the coverage that what they're asking for? Or do y'all really want these cameras in y'all face how NBA players have? Because for so long now, the WNBA has been able to fly under the radar, and these stars of the WNBA have been able to live normal lives without paparazzi following them and so forth and so on. But what comes with stardom and the media also comes paparazzi. Stars like Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, so forth and so on throughout the WNBA. Y'all are not going to be able to have regular lives. Paparazzi is going to be at your grandma's house when you just want to go past grandma's and get some of grandma's cookies, pie, cake, whatever she make. They're going to be there taking pictures of you getting that cake. When you're kissing your significant other in the street at the red light, somebody's going to be taking a picture of that while you're sitting in your car. When you're just out with your kid at your kids in the off season at your kids' soccer game, tennis match, whatever they play, they're going to be there. Whenever you make a slip up and the cash register was wrong, your cashier at the cash register was wrong, and you're trying to correct them, somebody is going to be there and it's going to blow out up. Are y'all really ready for that? I've seen the Chicago Sky woman get aggravated with the media. He did ask a rhetorical question, saying that he knew the stats before the game, but still, people in the media ask rhetorical questions all the time. They want to get your answer on that. And is there media training that hasn't been done? Are they ready for that? And her excuse is, yeah, you knew the answer to that, but they do that all the time. They want to see you act out like that. So is she marketable now? The answer would be she got to go back and do some more PR. Now, yeah, that the PR person for the Chicago Sky has to sit her down. Now she's going to have to go retract and apologize for something that she wasn't wrong for in the first place, but only to make herself more marketable, if that's what you guys want. What comes more money comes more problems. The more money we come around, the more problems we see. And look, say what you want, whatever, but it's just the facts. More money, more problems. That's just what it is. So, in the high sense, are y'all ready for all that? Are y'all? Buckle up, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. It's a lot that comes with it, but getting behind Caitlin, to me, is the start to this thing. Her not making Team USA, I don't know if it's going to hurt or not. We have yet to see that. We all thought that the viewership was going to plummet when Caitlin Clark went to the WNBA. That hasn't happened. We don't know, but I'm going to tell you, we don't know if are we going to watch Team USA women's basketball now? Probably, because of the light it's gotten now. It's got, even though this negative press that it happened, I would say, has turned to a positive because now people are aware of the women's Team USA team. But we'll see what happens with that. We'll see, because they won 7 straight, and yet nobody's really, tuned that in much into that, and to know that, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that works out for them. I hope that it works out and for all parties and for everything. And I hope that they get this marketing tool right. I hope they get this right. I hope they get this marketing down the right way. They do it the right way, and that they're smart while doing it. And I think that things like how I mentioned earlier with kids and all that matters. And they know that matters. And they're hitting on that. And they definitely are hitting on that. They're leaning towards that. And I'm sure that the women in the WNBA, they know that, and they're like, okay, we have to use these women to market our sport no matter what. And we'll get in where we fit in, but that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it is. And until that happens, and then it's just gonna keep being more drama. But let's see if they're ready for that. Are they really truly ready for all the spotlight and the things that they're asking for? We'll see. Stay tuned. Y'all, thank y'all for rocking out with me, man. Y'all go ahead, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Y'all know how it is, man. You know what time it is with me out here.
Wanna see Truck and Chubby live with co-host Shad? Tune in at Fans Point of View, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. But in the meantime, in between time, enjoy the content. Don't forget to hit your notification bell for all updates. Thank you for watching.